what you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the Leake in review.
Hey, thanks for coming back to the program, and thanks for all of your notes. You've been sending along so many great messages. I get every time we're doing episodes. I have all kinds of people that are reaching out saying, hey, I want to join you on your show. I've got this artist. Can we get this artist on the show? Lots of shares. The numbers, they continue to go up, and it's just such a pleasure to be doing this thing. Today, special day, as Kelly Jones of the rock and roll outfit, the Welsh rock and roll outfit, Stereophonics, joins us on the program. The band is set to do a world tour. It all fires up Friday in Montreal with dates throughout the U.S. to follow, Mexico, and then the Europe, and then everything else. We'll get into it with Kelly Jones in a bit. There is one thing, though. I say in the interview that the album is out on Friday, and that's just me living in what I would call a perpetual Groundhog Day here in the Shed of Dreams, where I just messed up. New album, Make 'Em Laugh, Make 'Em Cry, Make 'Em Wait, comes out on April 25. Go do that. Get ready, pre-order, and then just go see Stereophonics. More with Kelly Jones and about Stereophonics in just a bit. Some headlines for you today. Coldplay are set to help select artists for the 2026 World Cup halftime show. Coldplay obviously playing a big role in the footy world. They're doing stadium dates all over the place this summer. In fact, 4 stadium shows, 50,000 in attendance apiece in Toronto alone. So Coldplay waving around their heavy musical hand. Deadmau5 has sold his music catalog, $55 million USD. Now, you might say that's a lot of money for the Deadmau5 catalog, but it's 4,000 songs. Sure, some of them bangers, some of them maybe not so much. I think whoever bought this catalog, a U.S. firm, I believe, they are going to do just fine with this catalog. LA-based creative music group. They're the ones who picked it up. It works out to $13,700 per track. I think the music licensing folk out there would say, it sounds like a pretty good deal. I think they'll be able to recoup that. And Fontaines DC cancels Mexico and South American tour dates because lead singer Brian Chatton had blown out a disc, herniated disc, emergency medical attention required. That's it. They'll be taking a break. Look for tour dates to resume later on this summer. Still to come, Kelly Jones from Stereophonics.
Where there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is the Leake in Review on tour.
Brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting fans with bands everywhere around the world. Kings of Leon hit MSG on the 19th, TD Garden in Boston on the 21st and the 23rd, playing in Toronto. You can go check out Cage the Elephant on the 1st, in May the 1st in New Orleans, playing part of the New Orleans Jazz Festival, something that I've never been to, and it looks good all the time. Playing in Memphis, the Riverboat Music Festival on May 3rd, and then later on in May in Napa Valley, and the Pixies are back out on the road. Encore Theater, Las Vegas on June 13th. Grab your tickets for the Tall Pines Music and Arts Festival, July 18 to 19. Strombella's Sloan, Matthew Good and his band Moist. This all goes down in Muskoka, Ontario. Beautiful, great festival too. Nice and easy breezy festival for the Muskoka peeps. And lastly, you can join me Friday in St. Catharines, Ontario, as I host a Q&A with Paul Langlois. We'll talk everything Paul Langlois. We'll talk everything the Tragically Hip. And then Paul Langlois Band will rip out a set. So that's Friday, St. Catharines. We'll see you there. Kelly Jones Stereophonics coming up.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Now you're on with Mr. Kelly Jones and Stereophonics.
Do you have video of me?
I don't have video of you.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I apologize. I don't know why.
You want to come and go real quick? Try it again?
No.
Fair enough.
Is that cool by you, Kelly?
He's a good-looking man.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I'm out of your way.
I apologize for that. Kelly Jones, do you bathe in like some sort of petroleum jelly? Because I don't think you have aged in the entire career of the Stereophonics. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Well, thank you for saying it. I've aged in my mirror, but thank you for saying it. Maybe it's because I'm this big in your image.
Well, listen, the band has been around. Is this album number 14 that comes out on Friday?
Yeah, 13
I think
studio record, 14 with the compilation, maybe. Yeah,
Make 'em
13
laugh,
studio.
make 'em cry, make 'em wait. I love the end with make 'em wait. To me, as soon as I read that, I'm like, that sounds like something that the band says to people most days.
Yeah. Well, there was a phrase that when I was in art school, when I was probably about 18, 19, there was a guy who I connected to. There you go, I can see him.
Hey, I'll be wearing this the rest of the program.
There was a guy I connected to, and he said it to me once, and I always felt that our live show kind of subconsciously took on that kind of notion, really, make them laugh, maybe some anecdotes, make them cry with some of the tunes, and make them wait for maybe anticipation for some big tracks or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a good narrative for storytelling, or a good thread.
I've heard a lot of bands say this. Naming an album is maybe more difficult than naming the songs.
For me, it's always the last thing that comes, for sure. I don't think I can name an album until I've heard what the album is.
I think if it was me, I think I would just name it would just be chronological. It'd just be numbers or letters.
Yeah.
Stereophonics, album A.
Yeah. I think on the first 3 albums or 4 albums, I think there was lyrics within the albums, like Word Gets Around was in a song, Performance and Cocktails was in a song. And sometimes the title came first, and I would try to cram that title into a song. I don't know, but then I gave up after about album 4, and then whatever happened.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em cry, make 'em wait. The new album from Stereophonics. Kelly Jones is on the program. Starts off in North America, goes for a few weeks, hits the East Coast, hits the West Coast, with stops in between. A quick run over to Mexico, and then European run after that. So
Yep.
I imagine you, as the band, you've played your music thousands and thousands and thousands of times, but to get ready for a new tour with a new album, there's probably a lot of rehearsal time that's going on right now.
Yeah, we did 3 days last week, and we did maybe 3 days a couple of weeks before that, and maybe 3 days a couple of weeks before that. So it's been, I wouldn't say it's extensive, but the band, we had a little run through before Christmas, and we were pretty tight. We haven't played together since 2022. I did a solo record, and I did the Far From Saints project. So I've been out and about, and the guys have done little bits and pieces what they do. So it was really cool to get back together. But last week it felt really on point. It felt really, really, really focused. Everybody's really on top of this shit, and it felt really good. Picking through the songs and the skeleton of what we want to do as a set list, and felt exciting to be together again. And I think the shows are going to be great. And as I say, the brotherhood is certainly still there. So it's going to be nice to get together.
Do Stereophonics record these rehearsals and play them back, or is it you just feel it live?
They are recorded by our monitor engineer. Would rarely play them back unless the guys want to go into like the front of house guy and just to check if some of the new songs are blended right. On this particular rehearsal, I didn't go near any of it. I just did my bit, and I got the fuck out of there and did that.
I guess that's a good point too, because there's everyone needs this rehearsal. The stage needs the rehearsal. Your sound engineers need the rehearsal. The
crew,
lighting,
yeah, all the guys, yeah. all the guitar techs, all the bass techs, and there are lots of guys who've been with us for a long time, and they're all really on it. So it was great. It was good. It was a good week. So I think they've already left, and the gears already left. So we join them day after tomorrow.
When you look at your schedule and having been around the world multiple times with Stereophonics, do you look at your schedule and go, okay, we're getting 2 days off. This is what we're doing in that location? Or do you just keep it in the bunk? Do you keep it in the hotel and then hit the stage and that's that?
Different for different times in your life. When we were younger, then it would be
Pub,
which bar
pub.
we go into, bars. Exactly, yeah. Collapse into your bunk.
Yeah.
Now with 4 kids of all different ages, spanning from 21 to 4, I'm looking forward to a little bit of brain space.
Sure.
But yeah, it's different. I mean, we have a bit of a baptism of fire, actually. We get into Montreal. We play in Montreal, overnight to Massey Hall in Toronto, then overnight to Philadelphia. So it's kind of like 3 on a bounce with bus sleeps. And bus sleeps in the States are never great because the roads are so kind of fucked up and bumpy.
Yeah. Well, once you get around Philadelphia, New York, like the big cities, the roads are atrocious. When you're on the interstate in the US, it's like, wow, this is a nice ride.
Exactly. Yeah. And it takes you a while to get used to sleeping on a bunk, plus the jet lag thing. So it is what it is, but it's just like when you haven't done it for a little while stateside because of, what happened with the pandemic, and then it was 3 years where it was all a bit wobbly, international travel and all that stuff. We'll get into it, but yeah, I mean, playing-wise, performance-wise and band-wise, everything's rocking. So it's just now the next part would be the things that are out of our control,
Right. But
Whatever
that's the
happens.
beauty. That's the beauty of being in a band though, right? Because there's the variables make it fun. And when you're good, you don't even notice them for the most part.
Well, that's what the preparation is for, because whatever shit's thrown at you, you should just be able to just walk on and do your bit. So that's the thing.
How many guitar strings have you broken in one particular song in your career? Like, what is your record? Have you done like 2 or 3 in a particular song, or you just the E string and then just do a quick fix?
These days, because Richie, my tech, is so fucking good, I can't really, knock on wood, very hard to break a string. But back in the day, in the 90s, doing like Looks Like Chaplin and Too Many Sounds and things off Word Gets Around, where I'm hitting fuck up and there's blood all over the guitar, quite a few strings.
I love it when I see it happen because I know the artist is doing their best to still hit notes and make it happen. There's a beauty of it when it kind of goes wrong and you work through it. And then, okay, we got to see something that was super unique.
Yeah. I've had things go wrong with guitars and stuff and just took them off and just fucking smashed them up and then 10 minutes later completely regretted that.
Right, because you actually smashed the wrong guitar. You smashed the nice one.
Well, yeah, we used to open up a Mr. Right and it was an acoustic and the jack plug was fucked, and the tech I had back in the day, he was a bit of a boozer and he'd never fixed it. And then one night I just went on and thought, oh, fuck this, and I just smashed the fucking thing up. Then you got to find £2,500 to fucking buy another one.
Yeah, because you're not rolling around with multiple acoustics.
No, it was... I guess that was a case of frustration in your 20s. I wouldn't do that again.
I want to ask you about music discovery. When you're in your 20s, where were you finding your music? Because there was a different time for music discovery where you actually had to go out in public to find it. You had to go source it somehow. And I think it's wonderful that bands get to tour and get to travel. But in the early days of Stereophonics, there wasn't a lot of tour. There wasn't a lot of travel. Where were you finding your sounds? What was your source?
Well, we started getting serious about the band in about 94. We were signed by about 96. So between about the age of 19 and 22, it was stuff like, obviously we were influenced by the Tragically Hip. A friend of ours brought a cassette back from America with Little Bones and Twist My Arm and New Orleans is Sinking. We started covering the guys and doing Blow a High Dough and pretending it was our song, and nobody in the crowd knew any difference.
Yeah,
So
you
we
could
just
get away with that. Like if you pulled up,
we played hip songs like AC/DC, so it was a bit more in your face, and people just fucking loved it. So
you could pull out the entire John Hyatt musical library and just announce it as your own, and you're probably going to work the crowd over. So it was like the traveling man. The trucker tells the same joke in each town along the way.
Everybody had older brothers, so we were brought up with like my brothers are 8 and 9 years older than me, so they had all the kind of cool Neil Young records and Bob Dylan records, and my dad was into a lot of early Stevie Wonder stuff and Aretha Franklin. So we had influences from brothers, and Stuart's brother was into all the AC/DC and Rush and bands like that. So we were getting all that, and Richard's brother was into all Bob Marley and the Clash and Pill Limited, and so there's a my brother was into Creedence and CCR, all that kind of stuff. So we were getting it from everywhere, really. Lots of country and rock and a bit of punk, all kind of molded into one thing, which kind of is what our first record is, really.
Absolutely agree. Most of your career is kind of all of those things rolled into one, including Make 'Em Laugh, Make 'Em Cry, Make 'Em Wait. Let's talk about the shows now. We mentioned that you're going through these rehearsals and the band feels good, the band feels tight. How do you pick out of the 14 albums, 13 and a half, we'll call them because of live and stuff? How do you pick the songs that you're going to play if you're going to be up there for 70 minutes or?
Yeah. It's kind of, there's a certain skeleton of tracks that they've never really not been in the set. And then there's things that we've not played in a long time. Tracks like Hurry Up and Wait, Tough Performance and Cocktails we haven't played for a while. That's been really good to pull back out of the bag.
Probably excites the band too.
Yeah, Graffiti on the Train, and it's been good. We kind of make a list of about 23, 24, and then there's probably about 6 tracks within that list that has 3 or 4 alternates for different nights. So, for example, if like Superman is there, then we'd have an alternate for that one. It could be Geronimo, or it could be Catacomb, or it could be Hanging on Your Hinges. So something in a similar ilk to that kind of track, and then we just flip those tracks around to keep us interested and to keep the audience interested. Like if it's Thousand Trees one night, maybe the next night, maybe Local Boy.
Keeping in mind guitar tuning along the way, because you don't want to be switching out parts 23 times in a night.
Yeah, and sometimes just pulling one out of the bags to keep the crew and the band on their toes as well. That's kind of fun sometimes.
But there's not a lot of pyro with Stereophonics, so it's a safe play. You can throw things in randomly and not have to worry about blowing yourselves up.
Yeah, well, not in Massey Hall. In Principality Stadium, there's a bit of pyro, but not much.
Yeah, did you know they revitalized Massey Hall? So totally fixed the joint up. So it's changed the entire dynamic of the space, and not in a bad way. Really? It was already a brilliant spot. Isn't that funny when you go on those stages and you don't even need a microphone, and you know that the person at the top of the back of the room, the top balcony, can hear you because the acoustics in them are so crazy.
Yeah.
What are your
Tony Bennett once in the Albert Hall, and he switched his mic off when he sang without the mic in the Albert Hall.
Right.
Which was pretty amazing, yeah.
What does your sound guy do in that spot? Because you've been in so many different booming rooms over the years, and outdoors with the wind, it changes a zillion times over. Do they even reflect on it and go, man, I did a really good job? Or they go, no, it was the room. The room did it for me.
Well, we've got the same front of house engineer since 1996, Dave, and the equipment has become so far advanced now where, for example, if there's like a bass trap in the corner of like Wembley Arena, they can send a sound signal now that goes there, and when it gets to the bass trap, they can just change the signal so it drops off there, so it doesn't hit the bass trap, and it just stops. So the amount of stuff they can do scientifically now is just, it's beyond my brain. So they get fewer and fewer problems these days with making it sound shit.
There's less and less excuses to every sound engineer who's out there.
Excuse. If somebody came into the dressing room with the amount of technology and the equipment that goes on the road these and said, fuck man, it sounded pretty shit tonight, then somebody's definitely doing their job wrong.
Do you record all these shows now because of that technology that's there?
Well, most of the digital desks, they record anyway. So it's just a case of whether you ever upload them to do anything with them.
Has there ever been a discussion with that? Because you've got archives now, decades of Stereophonics out there. Have you talked about, okay, what do we do with all this? Or is it just going to go to the recycling center?
I don't know where it goes. We upload some of the stuff, we archive some stuff. Where it all goes, I'm not 100% sure, because the time task on all of that is sitting down and listening to all of it, and what you need it for, what you want it for. So, but if there's anything that we need, a lot of it is on some drive somewhere.
The last time I saw you perform in Toronto would have been at a festival called V-Fest. Was Oasis. Oasis. That so, and the reason I thought of this morning, that was, I don't know if you remember, the day that the guy ran up on stage.
Yeah, I was standing next to Noel on the side of the stage when the guy did it.
Yeah, what a crazy thing. Because didn't you guys play the following day? Or were you on this? Were you playing?
We played first, and then it was Paul Weller, and then it was Oasis. So we were on early, and then Johnny Faye was there that day with
Johnny Faye of the Tragically Hip.
Yeah, I'm not sure who else he was with.
Probably Baker, probably Rob.
Yeah, maybe it may have been Rob. I didn't get a chance to see them that much because we were it was kind of like the British contingent was over, so it was a lot of people there. And we went for like a big curry the night before. I remember that with Paul. But yeah, I was standing there watching the thing happen with Noel in slow motion. I could see this guy running, and I could see the security guys handing out cans of beer to guests on the side of the stage, and this guy just ran straight past them and straight to Noel.
Hits him in the back, sends him flying, and when you're on
a guitar onto a wedge, yeah.
When you're on stage and stuff like that happens, with your bandmate, you have to try to figure out what just happened. Like it's really weird on your brain.
It could have been a lot worse if the guy was carrying something. That was the end,
Well, I remember what happened after that. Everything went into immediate lockdown. If you were anywhere near the stage, you were being heavily questioned. And look, has anything like that ever happened to you? Has anybody ever run onto the stage where your security had to...
literally, after that period of time, because there was a few of those things going on, there was a lot of security in all the venues, and people would jump on the stage. But there was one instant I was in the UK, and I was in the dressing room by myself, and this guy just came into the dressing room because somebody had just, I don't know, took a suitcase down or something and just somehow missed somebody. But I remember being in the dressing room and some strange guy came into the dressing room, just me and him, and then luckily a minute or two later somebody came in. But you do get these alarming kind of events kind of going. It doesn't take much for somebody to kind of change that kind of situation, But it's like there's huge crowds of people, It's very hard to manage that, especially these days when people are just taking security and stewarding jobs, just kids, they don't really give a shit. They just got a tag around their neck, and they're not trained to be doing anything for real, really. Yeah,
I agree. It's like if it's a festival that happens once a year, they're all brand new people from top to bottom. Whereas when you're at Massey Hall, those are all people that are there every single day, and it's a little bit of a different situation. At least it should be. Well, I'm glad that you didn't end up being taken away to a different planet by that guy who broke into your place. Let's wrap with your first band name, or the quasi first band name that was an kind of an ode to the Tragically Hip, an ode to Mother Love Bone, and an ode to Bad Company. I bring it up only because you merged all the names together to make it, was it Tragic
Love Company.
Tragic Love Company. I know a band, maybe you know them, Tokyo Police Club. When they were creating their name, they just did a Google search for the top trending things of that day. And it was something Tokyo, something police, and then club. And I'm like, you guys are lucky that was what it was. Was that name ever used? Or was it just...
It was used between about 92 and about 93 to 96. And the night we changed the name to Stereophonics.
Right when you're signed.
We were opening up for Catatonia, and the guy that ended up managing us, John Brand, at that particular time, he saw us that night. Yeah, so it was kind of serendipitous, I guess, to a degree.
You remain friends with the Tragically Hip. I know they're going to go check you out on Saturday night.
Yeah, I watched the documentary a few months back, and I made contact with the guys again. And I was talking to Paul last week, and Johnny a little bit before that. So, and they're all coming down. Rob's coming down as well. So, it'd be good. And I think Gord Sinclair may be coming as well.
This is a big night because Gord Sinclair going into a concert. I don't see him at shows much. So that means that's just a testament of how.
We'll see.
That's just a testament, though, of how, and it's not a shot at Gord, but it's just a testament of how much they love the Stereophonics. Robbie talks about you guys all the time.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. We had some great times together, and we've shared many crew members as well. So we've got a lot of people in common, and we all come from very small towns, small time stories and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the guys.
Make them laugh, make them cry, make them wait. It's the album. It's the tour. You can go see Stereophonics everywhere, including dates with Coldplay coming up at some big stadiums this summer. So lots going on for you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you on the weekend. I'll be wearing jeans, so you'll know what to look for.
Okay.
Kelly Jones, Stereophonics, new album, Make 'Em Laugh, Make 'Em Cry, Make 'Em Wait, comes out April 25th. Go see them Friday in Montreal, Saturday in Toronto at Massey Hall. And you can join me this Friday with Paul Langlois. We'll do a special Q&A before a Paul Langlois band performance in St. Catharines this Friday. Thanks for listening.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the Leake in review.
Hey, if you like what you heard here, maybe you should check out our country podcast, Music Row, available everywhere. Just posted a great episode with Stephen Wilson Jr. It's worth checking out. Thanks for listening. My name is Leake, at the Leake on the social.